Now that was one big, rousing ending.
Very big. And very arousing.
I said rousing.
This is Film Addicted with Tyler
and Kirby, and we want to talk about the brilliant yet preposterous ending of Jaws.
The film has stood the test of time and remains a favorite of critics and audiences alike. This is due to Spielberg's deft hand at blending multiple genres, such as horror, drama, and of course adventure.
It's also an exploration of classism in a post-Watergate America. You see, the shark highlights the pitfalls of capitalism, while the mayor holds short-term economic interests.
Despite being easy fodder for what Hitchcock would call plausibles, Jaws' ending is a masterwork of audience manipulation and catharsis.
And it's a total invention of director Steven Spielberg, as explained here by Peter Benchley.
The ending of the book is a downer. The shark gets stabbed with a harpoon, can't hold up the barrels, and eventually drowns, spins slowly to the bottom, and the movie, or the book, the story ends, if you will. The characters are saved. That is not a big, rousing ending, and I need a big, rousing ending. So he said, here is what I propose to do. And he told me the ending that he had in mind. And I said, Stephen, that is completely unbelievable. It can't happen. A shark does not bite down on a scuba tank and explode like an oil refinery. He said, I don't care. He said, if I have got them for 2 hours, they will believe whatever I do for the next 3 minutes because I've got them in my hands and I want the audience on their feet screaming. At the end, yes, 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 this is what should happen to this animal, which reminded me, in retrospect, of the Bill Goldman thing, which is that reality may be great and truth may be wonderful, but none of it holds a candle to believability. And if a filmmaker has done his job and brought you into believability, he can do anything. Play by the rules. Set the rules, but follow the rules. And that's exactly what Steven did.
And here's how he did it. Spielberg forces us to see through the eyes of Chief Martin Brody by using POV shots, editing tricks, split diopters, and pull-away zooms. This makes his fears our fears, and his realizations our own as well.
Spielberg uses foreshadowing to create subconscious connections and expectations. He is constantly priming us for payoffs, both in the short and long term. Moments earlier, Pipette's disappearance and Alex's death are set up by these two mirrored shots. Sometimes, setups to horror are masked by jokes or quirky character moments.
The rules, you know, before he goes out on his own.
Michael! Did you hear your father? Out of the water now!
Quint is a foreshadowing machine. Basically everything he says ties into a later event.
This shark, swallow you whole.
He'd been bitten in half below the waist.
See?
Even character-driven moments like this are set up previously.
I'll never put on a life jacket again.
Quint quietly ponders his own mortality and accepts his inevitable. Now we can break down the primary elements of the ending that make it work despite its inherent implausibility.
Yeah.
Not this gun. Or this gun, even though it would be logical to expect Brody's sidearm to be of use in the ending, and we know he has it during the climax. We're talking about this gun, Quint's M1 Garand.
It's first shown here, being held by Quint's chum, whom we'll call Chekhov. Pay close attention to what else is being loaded onto the Orca in this scene. This is all subtle setup, allowing us to accept this becoming this.
Wait, does that say coroner's office? The tank is perhaps the most improbable component of the finale, and I think Spielberg is keenly aware of that.
You pulled the wrong
don't want you screw around with these tanks and they're gonna blow up.
Didn't explode.
Because of this, he deliberately juggles foreshadowing and misdirection, introducing the tank both with the rifle and the shark cage. The shark cage draws attention away from the tank, even for Quint, who refuses to hold it.
That misdirection is continued even as we are prepping for the shark cage sequence. The camera guides us to what is truly important. Perhaps it would have been easier to accept a more traditional explosive, as Spielberg seems to set up in multiple scenes.
Watch it, that's dynamite. Where you been waiting for? Where you going with that?
But instead, Spielberg uses dynamite to supplant the idea within us and Brody that an explosion is a viable means to kill a shark.
Coroner? Does the coroner have a coroner office?
You ever have one do this before? No.
In order for the ending to function, Spielberg needed the shark to behave both characteristically of other sharks, but also atypically. This may sound paradoxical, but by showing us that a tiger shark can eat a can and a license plate, he makes the great white eating the tank seem more plausible.
You screw around with these tanks and they're gonna blow up.
Remember this scene? Listen to what Quint has to say.
Yeah, that's real fine, expensive gear you brought out here, Mr. Hooper. But I don't know what that bastard shark's gonna do with it. He might eat it, I suppose.
Oh. Here we are with Brody putting it all together. The tank is in the shark, ready to be shot by the gun, to give us, and Spielberg, that big, rousing ending.
This expert use of foreshadowing would become a hallmark of Spielberg's filmography, one of his most frequently used tools to craft some of the greatest moments in cinema history.